Hello and welcome to Heart Skills with Jamie Black and
Karolane.
woohoo, we're here to have a conversation about what it's like to begin a live action role play campaign on day one. I first want to acknowledge that we're sitting on the unceded traditional territories of the Comox First Nations peoples. It is an honor and privilege for us to be able to be here and do this work in this way. So just extending a blanket of gratitude to all First Nations peoples that were here well before us, that are here now, and that will be here long after us. So a little bit of context. I brought in this fantastical character over here to come and join what we call in live action role play a party of characters to go on a quest. And on day one, it was very much a fly on the wall, see what it feels like, see if you want to stay engaged in the game, and bring your own flavor and colors and magic of your own. And so we're just going to talk about what day one was like, and we're going to jam it into now 8 minutes. Good luck.
Yeah, okay, we can do it.
Okay. So at the very beginning, when you first arrived, we had some stuff in the chariot in my car and some stuff in the building, but nothing was set up because I do that because I don't want to plan out what they're going to do, because they usually come with a whole idea of all the things that they want to do and an expectation of how the plan's going to go. And although you can sort of guide and redirect, I do want to let this be a child-led experience. So what was it like for you at the beginning when it was sort of chaotic and parents were filling out paperwork and everybody was like, two of the people knew each other, the other two of the people knew each other? What did you think of that experience?
Well, at first I was mostly observing, as I do when I'm getting to know new programs and new humans and kiddos and adults. And what I noticed was this like buildup of excitement. They were all so excited and already getting in character, and the dedication that was clear on all of them to let's play was really beautiful. And I could see the just the innate drive to want to play this way. And I thought to myself, like, oh right, there's no motivation challenges here. Everyone's very motivated. Everyone's very motivated to become these characters that they've created. And it's wonderful I just thought, wow, it's wonderful that they all have a space for that right now.
Yeah, and a little context. These two groups, like two of them came from one place, two of them came from another place, and they had been playing for almost a year. So they've already been generating these characters, and these are level 3 to level 12 characters, all kind of mashed together with enough context that they know what they're getting into arriving, but they have no idea what kind of adventures they're going to get into, or none of them had even been to the physical locations that we headed to. So once we got our kits on, so it's called putting your kit on, when you go from looking like a civilian to then looking like your character with your cloak and your belt and any pouches you have, and maybe you have a sword or maybe you have a wand, whatever it is that gets you into your character. I've got these cool new boots. So you just, you start collecting these things for your character. And once we're set, we are now into role play mode. So once we finally got ourselves out the door, that took a while, actually. It's kind of like putting your face on. You got to get all the parts in the right places,
party.
which is just as much a part of the journey as the rest of it. So we head out, and the only thing that they knew is that I had a little map of, it looks like there's a park over there. That's all I know. And from sort of the perspective of being a facilitator, what was that like for you?
Maybe I liked the openness. I liked the openness of, kids might be used to, this is where we're going today, and this is what we're going to do, and this is what will happen. And yet here it was this vague map of, there's a place here, there's a place here, here are the boundaries and parameters. Now, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? And they all seemed to like step right into that. And it was, that openness of child-led That's what I saw right away.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty great. So, something that I do, which is slightly unnerving for some people who would like to know what's coming next. I have a bestiary book from Pathfinder, and the kids know that when the book comes out, they are getting ready for me to say, and all of a sudden, so they see the book and kids start yelling, and all of a sudden, and all of a sudden, and all of a sudden, they're just waiting for me to say, and all of a sudden, this beast shows up, and I just turn it around. I just show them a picture of a random beast. So for me, I have the skills and ability to just randomly pick something and roll with how it's going to go. So I ended up landing on the Drider, and I chose that beast out of all the other options because it seems like a simple character that could possibly ignite curiosity for them to not kill me dead right on the spot. I was hoping that they would have a conversation with this character. But it's also a little bit of a test because they're so stoked and they have a sword in their hand and they just want to whack things, right? That's kind of, discernment kind of goes out the window, especially on the first day. So it's a little bit of a test. So when we did that, we had this experience where I was this character, and sometimes I will come out of character, which is, we call ook, out of character. And I say I'm ooking. So I say, ook, are you sure you want to do that? Are you sure you want to just kill this beast that you know nothing about in a land you know nothing about? And half of them are like, yeah, kill it. And another one is like, well, maybe we should have a conversation. Another one is like, maybe we could tame it. So like the reactions that you get from these kids, but knowing that there's a character there that is intense, I'm modeling this intensity and pretending like I'm the character, and I let them know I'm 10 feet tall and I'm towering over you and building this story and epicness and intensity in my eyes as the sun is slowly setting with this beautiful pinky haze in it above us. The intensity of your character is just like, you can't help but want to attack this beast. So we had these back and forth interactions. And there was one person in the group who couldn't quell their excitement, what was going on. And that character just wanted to keep hitting me as whether we were in ook, which means out of character, which means the game is kind of paused, the role playing gets paused, or in character and just demonstrating what I call an unexpected behavior of just whacking because they can. So that happened. And there was this nugget that we pulled out of that first day that we really wanted to share. And that's, what do you do when you're the facilitator and you don't necessarily have a person who knows what that child needs? And you have to kind of pause the game to reel them back in and get them engaged and try to get them to do what's expected without them going to a place of shame and feeling guilty. And so I have this theory that we're going to slowly unpack over the sessions. And the theory is that I have built such a relationship with these kids that when I get real with them in the moment and I say, okay, pause game, I just need to call you out on something. Okay, you're choosing to hit me. I feel your sword hitting my body a bunch extra. And I don't need to know why it's happening, but I just need you to stop doing this. And then I can explain later if you want to understand why. And then I can't remember what else that I said, but it was something that could have been taken to a place of making that child be very mad and walk away and storm off and create what I call a moment. But it didn't, because they're so hooked in the game, they just want to unpause and get over the uncomfortable moment and get back in the game again. And so I just want to see if you can kind of remember. It's been a couple weeks, but
I do remember.
What was it like for you in that moment?
Well, it was beautiful because it was beautiful actually, because the relationship that you've built with this person was clear as day. Yeah. Because that doesn't happen overnight from just meeting somebody. So it was clear as day that safe space had already been created and was already very foundational and secure to be able to address something in the moment right away with the person.
In front of their peers.
Yeah. And this is the second nugget with that. It was also you presented a choice pretty much right away. Like, you could choose to continue to do that, and you could choose this, and likely, it may impact the group this way. Because now, there's a rogue player. And right, that was that part.
Moment,
It was the, sometimes, and that brought in the others in a way that was, I would say, constructive rather than, like, it wasn't enticing others to sort of point. It was more constructive and team building rather than, this person's doing a thing we don't like. It was more, you could choose that, and then we would all, because we're all here together, we would all have a rogue player, and I guess we'd have to figure out how to work with that. And that could be a thing. So then it invited reflection in all of the other characters as well.
Well, and there's also a little piece of that is that they've created that safety net too, of that peer witnessing of each other's development, which is a whole nother layer we can get into at another time. But you just kind of reminded me of that moment where I said, okay, so the unexpected behavior is that you keep hitting me, and if you do it one more time, I'm going to die. This character is going to die. And what I'm hearing is these other voices are saying, oh, I don't think we should kill it yet, because maybe it's got information for us, or maybe, and I'm not sure if you're hearing that, because you're so excited about killing this character. So I just want to name that. And you could decide to be rogue and just be that kind of character, but you got to think about that. Is that going to foster friendship in your party that you are questing with or not? And what do you want to create in the future? So I'm going to give you one chance right now to rewind, and we all kind of rewound a little bit to that moment just before he decided to kill me, and just let him live through it again, doing a sweet little rewind. I don't do it very often because I kind of want them to have their natural consequences, but when it's a first game experience and they're just getting used to each other, and there's the hype of that newness and all the transitions and all the things that they're dealing with, that I'm willing to kind of backtrack a little bit. And it shifted for him. He decided he just decided to take that note and be like, okay, all right, I'm not gonna off it just yet.
Totally. And that was, you made it very, very clear what the potential actions were, what those would likely result in, and then you allowed him the space to make that choice and live that choice without attachment, really. And it was beautiful. It worked really well. And it also created, I noticed, one of my thoughts was, oh, how beautiful is this? Because not only do these youth get to practice these skills in a way that is right through play, right? So it's non-threatening. And that was the final thread I found, was what a beautiful way to practice all of these skills, because that's what role playing is. I
mean, we do role play in job interviews, or training for high level leaders, role play in the scenarios that we're going to go through. Well, just the act of role playing for fun and realizing that in the end that we are actually learning something. We know that, we had to learn some humility, and we had to learn some how to work together and coping strategies and all these things, but we don't name it in the moment because it's learning by doing, and it's fun with a purpose. So I think we'll end on that. I'm just looking at the time. That's a good 14 minutes. We're going to try to keep it in 10, but maybe these are 15-minute sessions. So that's the first one on an introduction, or what are we going to call this? What it's like on the first day of a new campaign with children being led by me, Jamie Black, with hopes to teach you how to do this too. Dun, dun, dun. Thanks for watching. There will be more.